Hello everyone. All hope you had a very great day and a very beautiful evening and an afternoon as well. As you can see, guys, today is very quietly extremely hot, as in very quietly hot. Anyway, guys, I wanted to tell you that I'm very grateful for your support in viewing and watching my episodes. It means gratefully a lot to me. So may God bless you all. May God bless you all so much. And also, may you guys pursue your dreams and continue to pursue them. Never give up, no matter the circumstances. Anyway, today on today's episode, we're to talk about another supervillain known as Mind Man, who is a powerful supervillain and also a member of two villainous organizations, the Order of the 12 and also the Court of Nature as well, in helping them reach their ultimate goals and their ultimate plans so that they can control and rule the rest of sacred existence and the rest of humanity and the sacred world in the process. So we can exactly get started. In Mind Man's early life, he was exactly looking into the sacred library, studying into the ancient sacred library, learning all about the sacred wars and the conflicts that exactly came before the time or before the time and age of the Lord of Magic, of the original Lord of Magic, and other sinister laws of magic that came before. During at that time, he was exactly learning all the history about the great wars, about the sacred great wars, and about the sacred wars that exactly took place, even about the ancient, powerful dark war known as the Seventh War, which he began exactly taking his focus and his obsession into that war. That war was exactly created, that war exactly started with the dragons wiping out the supernatural from every village to every neighboring world and planet and civilization in the process of their plan. They were exactly commanded and ordered by the Fallen, who's an ancient, powerful villain, who is a founder and a leader of this dark, formidable empire, one of the greatest empire that comes from the dark universe. Mind Man exactly decided that the Fallen will be a powerful weapon, a very good and ancient and a very good and ancient weapon that could exactly pose much greater use to his plan and much greater use to his greater plans as well, which he exactly discovered during at that time that the Fallen could exactly help his enlightened colleagues and his enlightened members in that time that could exactly help him control the war or either decide its final fate with the rest of sacred existence in the crossfires of the Sacred Wars conflict as well. During at that time, Mind Man was exactly an advisor of the original Universal King and became exactly serving the original Universal King as his advisor as he continued to advising the Universal King in important war matters, and also other matters of the sacred world matters and other conflicts of the sacred world matters. And in doing so, he kept on exactly advising and also assisting the Universal King in many matters. During at that time, the Universal King, the Mind Man, was exactly quietly obsessed with his own goals and with his own mission and with his own prior objective into order controlling the rest of the conflicts and the rest of the sacred world and the rest of the other worlds and other planets for his own ambition and for his own goal. During at that time when the Universal Prince was exactly born and trained and highly skilled by the other advisor known as Gregory, who was exactly training the Universal Prince, he exactly approached the Universal Prince with extremely powerful proposition which that could exactly benefit him in many ways. And the Universal Prince exactly accepted the proposition that he's hereby a member of the Order of the 12 and that he'll be assisting and helping the Universal Prince maintain control of the Universal Throne and also making sure that his succession exactly rises to the occasion so that the Universal Council may not exactly remove him out of power and out of control. Despite this, Mind Man was very reluctantly pleased that the Universal Prince accepted his offer to becoming the member of his secret society known as the Order of the 12 and was very reluctant in order to exactly helping the Order of the 12 control numerous worlds and numerous territories of the Shadow Empire and of other worlds and other civilization in the process of the conflict, which could benefit him in many ways. He and Gregory exactly shook hands that they'll hereby be associates of each other, that they'll exactly work in full secrecy and also in the full shadows of the sacred world and of the sacred universe in order to make sure that the Universal Prince's goal and the rest of the members of the Order of the 12 goals come to their fruition. On the 1st of January, Mindmen exactly began meeting up with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders in order to conduct their serious operations, which he told the Shadow Empire warlords commanders to make sure that all the operations are exactly going according to plan in mining and extracting all the minerals and all the crystals from the other worlds and from the other civilization, which exactly has to go on completely according to plan without any interruptions from any outside force and from any outside threat, which the Shadow Empire warlords exactly disagree, that they've been exactly helping the Order of the 12, helping the Order of the 12 with having a more powerful technology and more inceptible technology as part of the agreement and as well as part of the deal. Mindman exactly psychically used his telepathic abilities in order to mind control the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders and putting them under his sole control. By doing so, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly obliged and submitted to Mindman's telepathic control and exactly happily agreed in order to assist him and aid him in any way they can exactly assist him in any way they can in extracting and also retrieving all those minerals and all those crystals. On the 10th of January, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders extracted all the minerals and all the crystals from the other planets and from the other worlds and from the other civilization throughout the other known worlds and throughout the other civilization. The Intergalactic Coalition was forced in order to intervene and in order to protect the inhabitants from a battle which could take place from both sides, which statistically they exactly did so. In doing so, exactly they were able to exactly protect the citizens and also the inhabitants of the planet. But the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders got away with all the minerals and all the crystals as part of the plan was supposed to exactly work the way it was supposed to, which they were able to teleport themselves and straightly into hyperdrive in order to exactly reach into the central headquarters. Within the central headquarters on the 15th of January, they were able to meet up with Mindman, which they told Mindman that all their plans are quietly working well and they have extracted all the minerals and all the crystals, stating that everything else is going according to plan. Mindman told the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders to statistically take all the minerals and all the crystals and sell them straightly to their buyers, and also to make sure that their buyers are quietly, happily ready and very quietly pleased to exactly receive shipments of the technology and all of its capable abilities, which the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly agreed on that matter. During at that time, he was approached by Queen Light, who is another supervillain and another high-ranking member of another villainous organization known as the Court of Nature, that shares the same goal and beliefs as well as the Order of the 12 as well, which are very quietly different goals and different different goals and different objectives as well, that the two secret societies exactly shared, but they're exactly competing against each other and are quietly at war against each other exactly. Quinn Light exactly told Mindman that his abilities and his special talents and expertise could be very much quietly become very much infallible and very useful for their organization and as well for their goals, which could benefit him in numerous ways if he can exactly use his talents and his expertise in order to help the Court of Nature exactly regain control of the other worlds and other planets in a process to make sure that they end up under the new control of the newfound empire of the Noted Empire that is quietly led by Lord Knight Jackson, who is the leader and a founder of the Court of Nature, which the terms of the deal were quite agreeable, and in exchange he could become a high-ranking member of the Court of Nature as well. My man quietly agreed with this proposition and said that his services and his expertise and his talents and as well as his abilities are offered, and that he'll be very, very happy to join the Court of Nature and assisting them and aiding them on their respective goals and mission, which could benefit him in many, many, many ways, and which he quietly agreed on exactly on that matter, exactly on that matter as well. On the 1st of February, Myman was able to meet up with Gregory, telling him that the Court of Nature exactly accepted his proposition and as well as his talents in order to becoming the next member of the organization, which Gregory was very much quietly reluctantly pleased, stating that everything else is going according to plan the way it's intended to be, meaning that Gregory will exactly inform the Universal Prince, telling him that everything else will be going according to schedule without any interruptions from the Universal Heroes or from the Intergalactic Coalition. Mindman was quietly skeptical that the Intergalactic Coalition will try to intervene or rather try to do its best job in order to exactly interact with their mission. But Gregory reassured Mindman that everything else is going accordingly to schedule the way it's intended to be without any further interruptions or disruptions from any sides. meaning that the plan will exactly go according to plan, meaning the plan will go according to schedule the way it's intended to be, without any interruptions from the enemy or from their competitors or from their forces. And keeping the competitors quietly informed of everything else will make the Universal Prince become the formidable and most powerful Universal King ever existed throughout sacred history. And my man was quiet. They would like to be pleased and very quiet to be happy. On the 15th of February, my man exactly attended on a training course with the other assassins and began training them and also training them on a swordsmanship training, able to exactly brutally offering their services and also their skills as well. And during at that time, Shadowfly quietly approached him with a very intriguable element of a powerful crystal with very alarming news stating that Witchcaster, the most powerful dark witch, is searching for an ancient and powerful power known as the ultimate dark energy power, which could exactly open doors, which could exactly shift the balance of power radically, very, very quietly, badly. And Mindman was very quietly intrigued about this new ultimate power and this new ancient power that Wishcatcher was quietly searching for. He thanks Shadowfly for his services by informing him about this new power source, about this new ancient dark energy, dark spell, magical power, which could exactly shift the balance of power radically. And he was very quietly grateful for that, for the news as well, which that Wishcaster is searching for this power. And he also informed them that the members of the Order of Power are also as well searching for the dark power, meaning that he's not the only one, meaning that she's not the only one searching for it as well. Mindman was able to tell Shadowfly, does he know anything else about the most powerful ancient villain that ever existed and exactly lived throughout sacred history? And he exactly mentioned him by name, known as the Fallen. Exactly, Shadowfly and exactly told Mindman he had no idea exactly who is this Fallen or who exactly existed for many years or what exactly had to do with this war or anything else type of it. Mindman exactly enlightened Shadowfly that the Fallen is a powerful ancient villain that ever existed throughout the dark universe for many years, expanding his dark empire for many centuries. Rumors exactly had it that he was exactly banished and exactly trapped in an unknown dark dimension for his crimes against the rest of sacred history, for his crimes against the rest of sacred history and throughout the rest of the sacred world. And Shadowfly was very quietly intrigued and very quietly enlightened about this fallen ancient villain. He asked Mindman exactly how could this fallen exactly help them control the conflict now. Mindman exactly enlightened and told him that the fallen would not exactly help him control the conflict. He would exactly help them wipe out and exterminate the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans and the heroes in the process, which could further their goals and their common interests in becoming the sole rulers of the cosmos in the process of their true mission, and also the objective will be happily to be fulfilled in that time as well by killing two birds with one stone. And Shadowfly was very, very interested in the Fallen and knowing more about him and his dark empire as well. But Mindman told Shadowfly that this discussion only stays between them for now and just until he can study the threat and know more about the force of evil that they are about to exactly awaken or release from this other dark dimension. Shadow Mindman exactly attended a video conference of the members of the Court of Nature on the 1st of March, where he exactly reassured the members of the Court of Nature that everything else is going according to plan, the way it's intended to be, and that everything else will falter without any interruptions, with the Shadow Empire really being crippled and with the power vacuum that is really consumed the Shadow Empire. With the death of the Vision of Magic, the Shadow Empire Warlords Commanders already formed a secretive alliance with the members of the Court of Nature and offering their technologies as part of the deal and as also as part of the pact that they quietly assigned with the rest of the members of the Court of Nature. And as well, Lord Jackson was like to be pleased and very, very proud of this news and completely very happy and very enlightened of this news, meaning that everything else is going according to schedule the way it's intended to be. On the 10th of March, where Mindman was able to meet up with the dark magic users, the dark druids, the dark witches, the dark faithful, able to exactly enlighten them on the research that Wishcaster has been exactly searching for. They exactly informed them that Wishcaster is still exactly searching for the dark energy, ultimate spell, dark magical power, which could exactly shift the balance of power rapidly, and she's still quietly pursuing on her task and on her mission as well to searching for the power, as well as their greatest competitors known as the Dark Sisters and the other sister witches as well, who are also searching for this power as well. Mindman exactly told the dark magic users to keep him informed and to keep him on the loop about this power surge, and much more importantly, to make sure that this discussion exactly remains between them and also in his forces as well, which could exactly help him, to keep the circle of trust closer and very much quietly closer than he can exactly be. During at that time, Mindman exactly began meeting up with Goldspot, which he quietly told him for his services, and he very quietly grateful for his services and also for his work as well during at that time, stating to him that everything else is going according to plan, when everything else falling according to plan. Goldspot was able to tell Mindman that the universal heroes have already defeated the Dark Empire's forces, or Lord Shadowjack have already defeated Dark Masters Empire's forces from the other side of the universe, have already crippled his forces and already have quietly destroyed them all completely. And Mindman was reluctantly pleased and very, very proud with this development. Completely proud with this development. Within the 1st of April, Mindman was able to meet up with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, telling them that the operation is quietly going successfully the way it's intended to be, and he told them to design powerful technological weapons and very powerful, capable technological weapons that could destroy worlds and planets and other civilizations throughout the rest of the sacred universe in the process, which could exactly help them seize control of the universe and also of the sacred world in the process of their goal. But the Shadow Empire warlords exactly informed Mindman that the Four Nation Hunters are still waging war with the monsters of the dark dimension, and the war between them is spiraling out of control. And the monsters may soon exactly gain the upper hand in this war and in this conflict, one way or another. Mindman exactly told the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders not to exactly panic. He already has found the solution, and also the solution to the problem, and also the solution to the mutual problem, and also a very, very problematic solution to the mutual problem, and also to the further problem, which was able to randomly just tell them about that. Within the 10th of April, Mindman exactly used his telepathic abilities when he was sitting in a dark crystal room meditating, using his dark telepathic abilities in order to sense what was happening throughout the rest of sacred existence and throughout the rest of the known universe. He was able to see everything and able to sense the magical forces of good and evil fighting up against each other, telling which exactly tells him inside of him that there's a huge war and a huge conflict exactly on a brink that's literally coming, and on the brink that's literally coming, and on the brink that's literally quietly arising from all sides. Is exactly one dark faithful exactly approached Mindman, telling him that the Universal Prince and the Star Prince have formed a powerful alliance together, which could benefit them in many, many, many ways, which they could become the sole rulers of the sacred universe and of the known universe and of the star universe as well, if they defeat another ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Dark Order, that is quietly led by a powerful villain known as Red Bolt, who is the current leader of the Shadow Empire and who's willing to wage war with the Star Universe for sole control over the Star Universe and over the Sacred Universe. Mindman was reluctantly pleased and very, very fortunately very happy with this news, meaning that the conflict could exactly cease and end one way or another. Mindman exactly asked the Dark Faithful about their history, about the Fallen, and about his ancient powers and his dark abilities, and about his followers as well. The Dark Faithful exactly told Mindman that the Fallen is a powerful ancient supervillain that ever lived throughout the rest of sacred history for many, many centuries. His former name was known as Jaden Hall, and he was the most powerful being that ever existed throughout the Dark Universe, expanding his Dark Empire for many, many generations to come, which he fell in love with a powerful, beautiful dark sister of a dark witch, which able to bore himself two beautiful sons and one daughter at the same time, exactly crowning them as princess and prince of his empire as well. Ever since he was banished, his dark empire has exactly stopped expanding and exactly ruling the sacred universe and the other worlds of the universe and other planets of the universe in the process as well. Mindman was reluctantly pleased of this news and very, very gratefully pleased to know that a dark faithful exactly was paying attention to our sacred history's detail, which could exactly help him further his goals as well. On the first of May, Mindman exactly went straightly into the sacred library in order to study more about this ancient dark energy, dark spell power, which could exactly help him seize control of the conflict or rather put an end to it in one fell swoop. He went on and on throughout the books for many days and for many days and for days and for days, and he couldn't exactly found nothing of the dark spell or anything of the dark power. But what he found was powerful summoning, and how to use his powers and his abilities, and how to weaponize his gifted power and his magical abilities and his talents in the process, which was very reluctantly pleased that the books exactly helped him maintain his powers, able to exactly help him control and expand his powers on a larger scale than ever before. Within the 15 within the 15th of June, Mindman exactly met up with the dark magic users, able to tell him that it's time that he test his powers and his abilities as well at that time, which the dark magic users successfully agreed with him that it's time that he exactly does them. He exactly tests them all. Mindman exactly standing in the middle of the dark machine where the crystal was quietly powered at its greatest source, where he was quietly standing on a powerful ritual where the dark magic users combine their dark magical abilities and their powers as well at that time, activating a dark magical surge of power that exactly charges straightly to Mindman, where Mindman was able to focus his telepathic abilities and his power on a larger scale. He was able to mind control an entire population of other worlds and other civilization in a matter of minutes and in an hour. By doing so, the rest of the civilization fell under his sole control, stating that the court of nature is now the sole rulers of these planets and the sole rulers of these planets and all the other civilizations, meaning that they're under the control of the court of nature from now on out. The dark druids and the dark witches and the dark faithful stopped the incantation of the dark magic and converging their power straight through Mindman, stated that the plan and the test of the machine of their power worked extremely perfectly, very quietly good, and perfection itself was well tested and very amazing as well. And Mindman was reluctantly pleased and very happy that his powers can be tested and can be put to good use through a larger, greater scale than before. On the 1st of July, Mindman exactly entered through the magical worlds of the magic universe, where he was able to learn more about the Dark Sisters' history and also the Time Witches as well, about how they internet how their families are related to each other, able to study them more about them and able to learn more about these powerful dark witches and how they exactly are secretly, distantly related to one another exactly, which you wanted to know about their relation and what exactly made them all to be related together as one big family of supernatural witches that are able to live throughout the sacred universe for many centuries and for many millennia during at that time. He studied into the ancient texts of the magical books and folklores, trying to learn more about the Dark Sisters, the Mind Sisters, the Sacred Sisters, the Space Sisters, the Dark Powerful Witches, and Darkron and the rest of her brothers and her sisters, how they all connected and how they all intertwined together as well. Even learned more about the dark fates and also about Lord Fate and also about the dark fates and Lord Fate and Queen Fate and Fated Boy, who are the most powerful group of villains who decided to put an end to the sacred conflict and wanting to ending it completely for good. Within the 10th of July, my men exactly attended a video conference of the members of the Court of Nature, exactly reassuring them that everything else is going according to plan, the way it's intended to be. The Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition have crippled the Shadow Empire and are still exactly doing all their best in their power to successfully doing so. And the rest of his operatives and his associates are exactly willing to wipe them out and to purposely get rid of them in one fell swoop, one way or another. And Lord Jackson was reluctantly pleased and very gratefully proud of that. Within the 15th of July, my man exactly entered within the capital city of the island where Lord Jackson was exactly ruling his empire, within his throne room at the center of the temple, where he was able to bow down to him, telling him that his operation and his planning are going according to plan, the way they intended to be, that his operative and his agents are wreaking havoc and chaos within the intergalactic coalition that is already compromised by his greatest competitor, known as the New Lord of Magic, who is known by another name, known as Lord Jet as well, and his associates who already manipulated and influenced the intergalactic coalition for nation hunters into using it to their advantage for their own plans and in order to further their own plans and their sinister goals as well in the process. And Lord Jackson was reluctantly pleased and very, very happy to learn that the news are very quietly good. But he exactly decided to assign Mind Man on a special task and on a special mission that could exactly finally prove his allegiance and his true goals within the reach of the organization and within the reach of the empire as well. My man was able to exactly meet up with the righteous members of the primary state known as the Winds, who are the most powerful dark magic users on the 1st of August, telling them that they should exactly give him everything about the ancient texts and all about the knowledge about the fallen and everything else about his dark empire, his children, his history, his wife, his queen, anything else that might exactly relate to him. Everything should exactly to be taken strictly, directly to him, accordingly to plan the way it's meant to be exactly. The dark magic users agreed, and they handed him all the ancient books and all the ancient texts and knowledges and everything else as part of the agreement, which was successfully able to do so. Within the 16th of August, my man continued to going through the books and through the ancient texts and knowledges, able to exactly read through it completely, all of it, able to study its ancient knowledges and texts about the wars, about the fallen, and how he waged war with the sacred universe and with the sacred world, how he created chaos and destruction within the supernatural community against vampires, werewolves, warlocks, fairies, witches, and also aliens and superhumans within the process. Kept on studying and kept on learning more about the fallen since he was so obsessed with him on the very, 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 very first day he read about him. Within the 15 or the 10th of September, Mind Man attended a meeting of the members of the Order of the 12, where he exactly seen a memory sister complimenting Windmaster, the new enforcer of the group, stated that he done a very good job by telling the Shadow Empire warlords commanders to exactly submit to the Universal King, and also exactly thank King Razor for his job and also for his mission to make sure that the Universal Prince's rule is exactly quietly well known and well seen, that he will have more supporters across the universe and across the sacred universe in the process to regain and seize his throne in the process as well. On the 15th of September, my man exactly attended a meeting of the members of the Order of the 12, where the Universal Prince was able to reassure the members of the Order of the 12 that everything else is going according to plan, the way it's intended to be. Nothing else can disturb it. With his succession and with him rising to the throne of the Universal Throne to becoming the new ruler of the sacred universe and of the known universe, his time will soon exactly come by his ascension, and he will exactly make sure that his empire is the most dominant and powerful force in the rest of the known universe and in the rest of the sacred world by any means necessary, due to the technological advancement of Wind Girl and also her engineers and machinists who are able to design powerful airships and air balloons and warships and battle cruisers that are more powerful and more compatible and fit for war and also for battle as well within exactly that time. And he was very quietly pleased that his new power, newfound might is growing quickly with his new empire, and that when it's time for him to exactly ascend to the universal throne, and that he will take his rightful place as a new universal king by removing the obstacles away known as the universal heroes, the Intergalactic Coalition, the United Heroes, and the World Heroes, the Universal Space Heroes, the Universal Defending Heroes, and the Water Heroes in the process, and by wiping them out completely. And Mind Man was reluctantly pleased. On the 1st of October, Mind Man exactly sat within his crystal dark room meditating, and where the Universal Prince exactly approached him and asked him, is everything else going according to plan with the operation? Mind Man exactly told the Universal Prince that everything else is going according to plan with the operation. Everything else is falling under control and will soon be yours to take full control. And your greatest competitor, known as the New World Magic, won't be able to stand a flipping chance about it. Universal Prince told Mind Man it's time to initiate the first phase of the plan, and Mind Man quietly agreed. Mind Man was able to meet up with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders on the 4th of October, telling them that it's time for the plan to exactly begin. And the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders were very happy and very gratefully pleased that they designed powerful, world-destroying machines that are capable of destroying planets and machines in a matter of moments. And he was very, very fascinated with how the Shadow Empire warlords commanders designed these these planet killers that could destroy planets and wipe them out in a matter of full soup, and he was very reluctantly pleased. Despite this, guys, Mind Man is very intelligent, very ambitious, and very powerful, and very, very manipulative. He possesses a hidden power known as telepathic abilities and also the power to read minds, and also very quietly skillful in hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, agility, and endurance. He's very, very smart and very, very intelligent supervillain that has lived throughout the rest of sacred history for many years and for many millennia. He's very immortal. He has lived for many years. He's the former advisor of the current of the Universal King and of the original Universal King that passed away many, many years ago before Gregory's father exactly took over as the advisor and started exactly becoming the advisor of the original king. After that time, he exactly stepped down because he became too very much ruthless and power hungry villain, wanting more power and control. He even forms alliances with powerful criminals such as the Order of the 12 and the Court of Nature. These two secret societies, he forms alliances with those powerful criminals with a group of supervillains known as the Order of the 12 and known as a Court of Nature in order to help them finalize and reach, in order to help them finalize their goals, in order for their goals to bear fruit, for them to become the sole rulers of the cosmos, and that they can become the sole rulers of the cosmos so that they can entrust the supernatural world and the sacred world and the alien world and the superhuman world into chaos and into destruction, which could pave a way by wiping out and removing the Four Nation Hunters and the Universal Heroes and the United Heroes out of the way completely. Mind Man is very ruthless and cruel. His personality is very, very dark and very, very mysterious. His background and his history is unknown, literally unknown. But his origin, he exactly was born within the magical kingdoms and the magical world. He was a very gifted superhuman who was raised by his two parents and his mother, and he was able to become more ambitious and more very, very, very ambitious with his goals and with his mission. It is thanks to Mind Man. It is actually thanks to Mind Man's operation and as well as his ideas that enable the Universal Prince's Empire and Lord Jackson's Empire to remain the most hidden and formidable empire in the sacred world and in the sacred universe for many centuries to come. The Notian Empire remained a formidable empire thanks to Mind Man's intelligence and his greatest abilities and his expertise to helping making sure that the two empires remained the dominant force against the Shadow Empire, which became the most dominant force of the universe and of the sacred universe in the process. Now, the two empires are competing for sole control over the sacred world and over the sacred universe. And Mind Man is doing is helping and assisting the best he can to make sure that the conflicts from all sides exactly ceased, or they rather end up in bloodshed and to further turmoil or chaos, which he could himself benefit from the chaos by ruling other worlds and other civilization in the process. He even forms powerful strategic alliances with dark magic users known as the Winds, the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, the Dark Faithful, in order for them to help them with his greatest ability to controlling his ability and also enlarging it and also enlarging and expanding his ability on a larger scale than ever before in order to mind control the known worlds and the known civilization of the sacred universe and of the known universe in the process. He maintains the individual bases of the Court of Nature and of the Order of the 12 for them to exactly operate from in full secrecy, and also as well as the central headquarters of the two societies and organization so that they can exactly operate in full secrecy without the enemy or the adversaries or obstacles to know exactly where they operate from. He even has his own home base and his central headquarters where he exactly operates from, where he can exactly operate from in full secrecy and also within the shadows of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. Mind Man exactly learns from his great failures and from his great loss encounter with the Universal Heroes and the United Heroes and the World Heroes that the abilities in his operation, and his mission cannot be underestimated or taken lightly ever again. And he learns that they can never be underestimated, especially Universal Man and United Man and the Universal King and the Intergalactic Coalition and the Four Nation Hunters and the Five Nation Hunters and the Six Nation Hunters. He's willing to wipe them out and exterminate them as long as he benefits from the destruction and from the chaos that the enemy and his enlightened colleagues wreak and create. he will be in power and in a rightful position to seize power and to seize control of the numerous worlds and planets and civilization in the process of this conflict. He's been obsessed with the Fallen. The Fallen is a powerful ancient villain, a fallen hero who became a dark ancient villain, and he's been obsessed with him, who's become the sole ruler of his dark empire on another dark hidden universe, which I'll tell you about him. I'll tell you about him on another day. But don't worry, I'll tell you about him now on another day. He thinks that the Fallen is the reason for this war, or rather the reason for the answer to end this war once and for all. And he's willing to make sure that he exactly returns and he comes back in spades of power with sheer force of will to put an end to the conflict, or to either shift the balance of power radically in a very destructive way. My man is willing to make sure that his top competitors are taken down, meaning the founders, the Order of the Five, the Order of Power, the new Lord of Magic, known as Lord Jet, and his protégés are out of power, and to make sure that the Order of the 12 and the Court of Nature are in power and are in control of the sacred universe and of the sacred world in the process, as long as he benefits from the chaos. That will exactly please him. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I'll exactly see you tomorrow. Have a blissfully evening and an afternoon as well, and take care of yourself. Chop chop. Bye.